A murderous, otherworldly force took a young athlete's life and is now after his sister. Can the psychics stop the evil entity and solve a fatal death formula? You are watching Psychic Investigations, a project of exclusively true and shocking stories where people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate enigmatic mystical anomalies and high-profile criminal cases. This photo shows the Kolodenko family in its entirety: parents, Irina and Viktor, and their 2 children. And this is a more recent picture of the same family, excluding the eldest son. The boy tragically passed away.
15-year-old Valik was brought to the city hospital in a coma. The medics diagnosed intracranial hemorrhage.
Valik was an athlete, a professional freestyle wrestler. He held the title of Junior Champion of Ukraine and dreamed of becoming a world champion. Nevertheless, during a routine training session, he unexpectedly died from a blow to the head.
I received a call from Valik's phone. I thought it was him, but it was Elvir. He said, "Aunt Irina, Valik lost consciousness during a sparring. I ran there as fast as I could. The ambulance was already there, and they were putting him in it. He was in a coma."
The mother can't understand how this could have happened. After all, her son had many times participated in professional competitions where partners went all out, while this was just a training match outdoors.
It is almost impossible to deliver a blow of such force to kill a person, especially since the boys were wearing protective gear.
What were Valik and Fazik wearing?
Valik was in gloves and a helmet.
The young athlete spent 7 long days in the hospital, unconscious.
Everyone believed and hoped he would survive.
The boy's internal organs began to fail one after another. He suffered 2 cardiac arrests, and when it happened the 3rd time, the doctors couldn't start his heart.
On October 10th, Valik died, having never come out of the coma. His mother still doesn't understand how her son could have died so suddenly and under such strange circumstances.
Could there be otherworldly forces involved?
Marina is now in the 8th grade. She dreams of becoming a doctor to save people, but her mother is worried that her daughter's dream may not come true.
I'm so worried about her. It's a pathological fear.
And the fear is not unfounded because the girl has been seeing the same nightmare for several months. Her deceased brother comes to her in her dreams.
Everything around is black, and I only see myself and him.
To find out what really happened to her son and whether something is indeed threatening her daughter, Irina, in desperation, sent a letter to our project's editorial office. 2 of our most powerful psychics, Hayal and Olena Kurilova, rushed to help.
I have a feeling that there were 3 deaths here at once, on the same day. And they were painful deaths. It feels like some kind of mass murder. Since yesterday, I've been experiencing a series of strange coincidences. I live on the 12th floor, and when I pressed the elevator button, it only took me to the 10th floor. I booked a train ticket, and my seat was number 10 again. I called a taxi, and the car's plate number was 1010. And now my room number at the hotel is also 10. It's clearly some kind of sign. Maybe it's a hint?
I don't know, Olena. When I looked at the photos of the brother and sister, I saw them in a small black room. It was empty, and only a calendar hung on the wall behind the girl. Suddenly, a silhouette approached the calendar. I couldn't make out what it was, but it started quickly tearing off the dates. And then it disappeared, along with Valik and Karina. Hello?
Please come in.
It's hard to explain, but as soon as the psychics get down to work, the dog starts to behave very strangely.
He loved the dog a lot.
It's his dog.
The dog started barking to get our attention. He loved Valik very much and felt the impending danger.
About a week before it happened, he started howling. It gave me goosebumps. I went outside and I got so angry at him. They say a dog howls at the deceased.
The dog howled because he felt the presence of dangerous energy in the house. It seems something took Valik to the other side.
After your son's death, the dog should have calmed down. How does he behave in the evenings now?
He's howling terribly. I'm still struggling to come to terms with that and this howling.
And that was a bad sign. He sees something supernatural and means there could be another death in the house soon.
Your daughter is indeed in danger. We need to see her.
Hello.
Hello.
You loved your brother so much. Don't cry, please. We are here to help.
Karina is deeply affected by Valik's death, as the relationship between the brother and his younger sister was very warm.
In her letter, your mother mentioned that your brother often visits you in your dreams. Do you remember what he tells you?
We stood facing each other, and I was crying very hard. He told me to calm down.
When I placed Karina's hand on my holy book, I saw the picture from her dream. It turned out that the vision that came to me last night when I was working with the photo was her dream. I see the brother and sister in a small black room. The room is empty, and only a calendar hangs on the wall behind the girl. Karina didn't see that supernatural silhouette behind her in her dream. But I couldn't make out whose silhouette it was, and I didn't understand why it needed the calendar. I see he also visited you when you were awake.
Yes. It was before the 40 days passed. One Monday, I went outside and a bird flew to me and it sat on my hand like this. I thought it was Valik. I didn't shoo it away and I said, "Valik, I love you," and it flew away.
To tune in to the energy of the house, Olena Kurilova decided to work with a mirror.
10. Information is coming from the mirror. There were several of them. Another man left. And it's somehow connected to the number 10.
Valik's dad died on October 10th, too.
2 deaths in the same family on the same date. Valik passed away on October 10th, and 5 years prior, on that very day, his father, Sasha, Irina's first husband, had also died.
Valik's father died a martyr's death. He was in immense pain. Everything inside him was burning.
He had liver cancer. Valik was 10 years old then. He took it very hard. He loved his father. They were so alike.
The family grieved heavily for the loss of father. But life went on, and Irina remarried to Victor.
At first, Valik wouldn't let him near me or me near him. "Go away, don't touch my mom," he would say. But then he started calling him Dad.
The woman was happy again. She had a complete family, a loving husband, and 2 children. But soon after, tragedy struck again, and Valik died.
There's some mystery in these deaths on these dates. I remembered the number 10 that's been haunting me since the previous day. I realized that the mystery lied within the number itself. It's like a death formula for this family.
But the psychic had sensed 3 deaths on the same date right from the beginning of the investigation.
I immediately sensed that there were 3 deaths here. It's like some kind of mass murder.
But who or what is taking the members of this family to the afterlife?
Olena, let's go outside. I see a woman.
Where's Hayal going?
I need to catch up with her. I saw an elderly woman peering over the fence. She had a floral headscarf on her head. A cat was standing nearby, and the woman vanished into thin air. The woman is no more among the living. Look, there's number 10 on the post.
A 10 again. There's something connected to the number 10 here.
Could it be my mother? Because she also passed away on October 10th.
It's just mind-boggling. Valik, his father, and his grandmother all passed away on the same date. The woman died of a heart attack.
I feel like collecting death certificates with October 10th in them.
To understand what's taking your loved ones, we must go to the site of the last tragedy.
The death of the young athlete during a training session indeed shocked all his colleagues and coaches. Valik was sparring with his classmate, junior world karate champion Valik Abiev.
There were dark forces at play, giving one hand inhuman strength.
The psychics head to the location of Valik's final match. That day, the boy wasn't training in the gym, but on a wasteland not far from the school. By the time the clairvoyants reached the site of the fatal duel, it was dark outside.
Olena, I see the dark silhouette from my vision.
Hayal ran somewhere again.
I can't believe it. It's gone. But I finally managed to have a good look at it. It held watches in both hands. It's the Grim Reaper, counting down life's time. I need to tune into that day's events. I see 3 boys here, your son, a dark-skinned boy, and another slightly older teenager.
Like a referee.
Yes, the referee.
It seems the dark-skinned boy Hayal Alekperov saw is Valik's opponent, Valik. He was the one who landed the fatal blow during the training bout.
At this spot, your son lost consciousness. I see a hand delivering the fatal blow, and it's not human. It's the hand of a massive beast. It possessed the dark-skinned boy, and this beast struck twice. Your son fell but managed to get back up. But the second blow was fatal. Did you sense something at that moment?
I was dialing him at that moment. I wanted to talk to him, but he didn't pick up the phone.
According to witness statements, the boys were evenly matched for 5 out of 10 rounds, with no direct hits. Midway through the 6th round, Valik took 2 punches to the head. He then fell and lost consciousness. He never regained it.
And here, Hayal and I felt the second victim, who felt like he would rather cut off his hand, because that hand was in the fight.
I sense suspicious glances directed at that boy. Behind his back, they call him a murderer.
Yes, that's true.
Irina knows Valik well. He was her son's classmate and trained at the same sports club as Valik. The boy's father shared how heavily his son took his friend's death.
2 days after his death, I found him crying under the blanket. I lifted the blanket and gently woke him up, saying, "Valik, why are you crying?" And he said, "Dad, I feel sorry for Valik. I didn't mean to do it."
Valik himself doesn't understand how it happened, and he probably can't explain his state at that moment. But I'm sure he became a tool in the hands of otherworldly forces. And your heart, Irina, tells you he's sincere when he says he didn't mean to do it.
Yes, I saw him. I talked to him. He came to the hospital and he apologized, saying, "Aunt Irina, I didn't mean to kill him.
Here he is, Valik, whom half the town calls a murderer behind his back.
It was all an accident. We were practicing our technique. We'd agreed on that. It was all an accident.
The police insisted on charging Valik Abiev with involuntary manslaughter, but Valik's mother did not press charges. She didn't want to ruin the boy's life.
In this situation, someone else would sue him and he'd be in jail by now. But I didn't do it. I have no right to ruin someone else's life.
I bow to her, the mother who supported me. She comforted both Valik and me. She said, "It's sports. Anything can happen. No matter what, I understand it, and I'm not going to sue you."
This seemingly fragile woman is indeed very strong in spirit. She has endured the death of her first husband and the tragic loss of her son, and now she is doing everything to protect her daughter, Karina, from death.
The entire family has a death formula. It's like, an equation that always equals 10. No matter how the numbers and life dates are arranged, the death formula equals 10. On the 10th of every month, go to church. Do it always. Please. I hear a voice from far away. Is it just me, or does everyone hear it?
What did you hear?
Valik, graveyard, go. The voice is female.
We need to go to the graveyard. Your son's spirit is here now.
My dear son, I love you so much. I miss you terribly.
The spirit is leaving us now. Wait. He's returning, but not alone. There's a girl with him.
She's a bit older than him. A blood relative. Her head is gone. A truck or a train, something big, like a sudden impact. Boom, and in a second, she's gone.
His aunt. She was 20 when a truck hit her.
I see two bodies, the girl and a young man.
They were coming back from a disco when the truck's trailer came loose and killed both of them instantly.
I see another violent death. A large man takes a stone in his hand and hits a younger man, your relative, on the head. He falls dead.
I don't know about that. It might be my husband's relative.
Yes, it's your husband's brother. In his family, many people died young.
His grandfather, Valik, was first. Then his dad, Yuri, and then his mother and two brothers. And then were Sasha and Olha.
There must be 10 graves in total.
Valik was 10th. The family line stopped with him. He was the last one.
Your son's spirit says he paid with his life for a mortal sin. We must find out who committed that sin.
I see a man. He's holding a steering wheel. A truck. And there's number 10 drawn on it. 10. 10. And then there's a blow to the head. Boom, and the person is gone. What was that?
Valik's grandfather. He was also Valik.
Did his grandpa kill someone?
As it turned out, Valik, Irina's father-in-law, worked as a truck driver. He had a fight with his partner. He hit him on the head with a brick and fled the scene.
And then I understood where those darn 10s came from. The truck had a license plate with 10s on it. That was the last thing the victim saw before dying. That is why deaths occur precisely on the 10th day of the 10th month.
The man bled for several hours and eventually died. It was on the 10th.
That's why his spirit took the lives of 10 people from his killer's family.
A year after the murder, the grandfather himself died on the same day. Concrete slabs fell on him from a truck.
The slab fell right on his head and crushed the skull.
But what can be done? What fate awaits Karina? Can she be saved from the family's terrible karma?
You must go to the church and help the injured, those who survived but are maimed. Buy icons in the temple. Buy an icon of Virgin Mary, but don't haggle and don't accept the change. Give more than it's worth. Then cross yourself and bring it to your home. And the sum you give must be a multiple of 10. All right?
A terrible lie of a woman took her child to the other world. Only sincere repentance will help stop the murderous mystical force, lies that took the lives of a few innocent children. Psychics Jana Shulakova and Rubina Tsibulska were approached by Oksana Shara from northern Ukraine. She asked them to save her only daughter from death.
I fear for Marina, my daughter. The fear never lets go of me. I need help really badly.
The unhappy woman has already lost her 15-year-old son, Volodymyr.
He drowned. He and his friend went fishing on a boat and never came back.
This is terrible.
The tragedy took place in May, on the river not far from the village where the family lives. The strong wind overturned the boat in which Oksana's son and his friend were.
The eyewitnesses said the boat overturned.
The people tried to save the boys, but they were too late.
One boy swam to help them. He says he was just a little too late. I don't remember the funeral. I don't remember anything. Every time I look at his photo, I want to scream.
The woman still can't understand why her son, who had always been a good swimmer, drowned all of a sudden. Was there anything that could drag him down?
You had a feeling before your son died.
It was as if a sign for you.
The icon fell. When I came home I opened the door and saw the icon lying on the floor behind it. I got really terrified.
Her children were at school. There were no pets in the house. The woman couldn't understand how the icon, hanging in the corner, could end up smashed at the opposite end of the room.
I see an image of you taking your son out of his grave. Did you have any dreams of that before he died?
Yes, I kept seeing the same dream over and over again. I was trying and trying to pull him out, but I couldn't do anything.
I see the spirit of a young man who looks a lot like your son. He says that they didn't understand what they'd done when they got married.
What marriage could it possibly be? Who married whom? And what relation could it have to the boy's death?
He asks me to save his sister. I have a feeling the boy was taken to the other world by some evil force, which is now hunting Oksana's second child.
I fear losing her because if this happens, I'll have nothing to live for.
What is your daughter's name?
Marina.
Where is your daughter now?
She's home.
Let's go to see her. Get in the car.
On their way to Oksana's home, the clairvoyants started having shocking visions.
I see a beautiful young woman, but she has a skull instead of her face. This is the force that's been hunting your children. We asked Oksana to talk to her daughter in private.
You feel you're in danger?
When I stay home alone, I hear somebody's footsteps and a voice calling somebody.
It's a female voice that's calling.
Yes, somebody keeps calling me. Come with me, come with me. I began answering that I won't go, telling it I'm afraid.
But last time, when Marina heard the voice and wanted to say something, she couldn't do it. The girl had a feeling as if invisible hands squeezed her throat, and the next moment, she couldn't breathe.
She started coughing. Then she began suffocating, and then she was taken to hospital.
After the medics returned the girl to her senses, someone's invisible hand pushed her on the hospital stairs. Her mother watched her fall more than 10 steps down.
She broke her pelvis and had bruises and concussions.
Do you know the voice?
No. When I walk to school, I feel as if someone's walking next to me.
Do you hear the steps?
Yes, when I turn that way, I sometimes see a girl. She's tall, but she has no face.
The girl with a skull instead of her face. Marina saw the same spirit from the netherworld as I saw in the mirror. I feel that you've even seen this spirit underwater. It was trying to pull you to the bottom by your leg.
I've begun keeping away from water recently. Something was pulling me down to the bottom.
I feel that your brother is trying to save you. It's like he's warning you about the imminent threat.
2 weeks before the incident, I saw him in a dream. He told me to stay away from water.
What kind of evil force is that? And why does it want to take the lives of Oksana's children?
Now I see a young woman lying dead in the middle of some road. Who could this be?
What is that?
Some noises came from the other room.
Something caused the album to fall. It stores photos of Vladimir, Marina, and Natalia. Natalia is my late niece.
You treated her like she was your daughter, and you were close with her.
Yes, very.
Wait. The reason behind her death was suicide.
Oksana's niece was only 19. Without any explanations, the girl jumped out of the window of the 19th floor apartment in which her relatives lived last winter.
Do you think it may be her who's hunting the family?
The souls of those who killed themselves can be highly aggressive.
I see that before she died, the girl had returned from somewhere.
It was a group trip. A group of activists from her university went to Lviv. She was a third-year student, preparing to become a food industry inspector.
Her behavior got strange.
It's true.
It was as if she began keeping herself aloof, avoiding conversation with everybody.
Yes, she clammed up.
The day before her death, Natalia, who'd always been sociable and easygoing, locked herself in her hotel room in Lviv. She wouldn't open the door or answer phone calls and texts. Her friends became worried and phoned her parents.
My brother went to Lviv to take her home.
The parents brought their daughter from Lviv to Kiev at a late hour and stayed at their relatives to spend the night. They were planning to go home to eastern Ukraine the next morning, but the tragedy happened at night.
The mirror is showing me the night of Natalia's death. I see her and some woman. The woman is related to her. They were sleeping in the same room.
She shared the room with Irina. It's their relative from Kiev.
I hear a female voice. It's like somebody was calling Natalia from the other world.
At 4 a.m, she sat up suddenly and threw the blanket on Irina. It took Irina a while to free herself from under the blanket. She asked Natalia where she was going, but she only said, "1 moment." Before Irina had a chance to get up, she jumped out.
The skull-faced spirit made your niece do this awful thing.
Oh my God.
But what was next is hard to believe. When the parents rushed outside to their daughter, the perfectly functional elevator of the newly built building suddenly stopped working. The people were trapped in the iron box 19 stories above the ground. They spent several hours waiting for help while their child was lying dead on the street.
And after they were freed, they immediately went there. But they couldn't come close. There was a crowd there, and the police arrived.
The whole family is still shocked. Nobody can find any reasonable explanation for what the girl did.
Her blood was clean. They thought somebody put something in her food at the cafe. But no, the second version was that she'd been raped, and it was the reason for her reluctance to speak. But it didn't prove either. She was a virgin.
Look at this. The deaths that happened in the family were all connected, with some kind of revenge.
The mirror is showing me the road. There's a vehicle, a truck running along it, and there's you and some other people inside. I see the truck overturn. It crashed.
Have you had an accident?
I have. It was a milk tanker. There were 4 of us, together with my friend, and she died.
Was she the only person who died then?
Yes, she was the only one who died of the 4 of us.
The crash happened almost 13 years ago.
My friend and I were on our way to celebrate Easter with my grandmother. We met our friends, and they picked us up.
Oksana's friend, the milk tanker's driver, decided to give his friends a lift in his truck. On the way there, he lost control of the truck, and it went off the road and into a ditch by the side of the road. Oksana and 2 of the other people ended up slightly injured, but her friend died at the scene. The mother of Tetiana, the late woman, cries every time when she remembers the tragedy.
When I heard the news, and I realized that my child was gone, it hurt so much that I can't even find words to describe it. And I still can't hold back tears. I wouldn't wish it even on the worst enemy.
Before the accident, it seems you and your friend swapped seats.
During a stop, she offered that she would take my seat, and I would take hers, so we swapped.
Do you understand that it was you who was supposed to die instead of her?
I don't know.
So could she be trying to take revenge on you, because she died instead of you? I have a feeling that the deaths of the people Oksana loves are somehow connected with her friend's death. We need to work at the site where your friend died.
Half an hour later, the psychics and Oksana are at the site where, many years ago, the terrible accident happened.
The truck you were in did several turns.
Yes, it turned a few times.
Once, twice.
We all flew out of our seats.
Now I see your friend. I feel you were close as sisters.
Yes. Her mother told us, when I look at you both, you're like 2 sisters. You can't even live without each other.
Did you blame yourself?
I did. I thought it was my fault. I thought I was guilty. I shouldn't have taken her seat. It was LL in my head. And the pain was unbearable. I was crying all the time.
She says my murderer was never jailed. She blames the driver for her death. Wasn't he punished for the accident?
He was found guilty, but the sentence was suspended.
If I'm not wrong, he got away with a 3-year ban to drive.
They said it was because the road was uneven, and that's it.
The crash didn't happen because of the hole in the road. It was because the driver was drunk.
Drunk, so he's clearly guilty.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Weren't you present at the trial?
No.
Did you give evidence?
Uh-huh. I told of how we rode and how the truck veered sideways.
Looking at Oksana, I realized she was concealing something. But then the mirror showed me the image. It's a woman standing over Tetiana's grave, blaming everyone who was in the truck, especially you.
It must be her mother. She told me it was me to blame. She said, "I'll make you and your children suffer for this."
If the mother told this, it means she could have resorted to magic. It can be what threatens your daughter. We must see Tetiana's mother.
Do you know where she lives?
I do. She lives in Shaska. I know she hates me. She hates me.
Oksana, it might be the last chance to save your daughter.
I'm not going there.
You have no choice. Do you want your daughter to die?
I know that woman.
So you can go on knowing her and doing nothing.
Okay, let's go.
Soon afterward, the clairvoyants were at the house where the victim's mother lives. She agreed to talk to Jana Shulikova and invited her in.
Hello.
Hello.
As a mother myself, I understand how terrible it is for you. It's a nightmare. Losing your child is a great grief.
Everybody told me I had to live on, but I locked in my room and cried, and I'm still crying.
When it happened, did you blame anyone for what happened?
I blame myself because I'd let her go. I let her go.
Calm down, please. Hush.
I see how your friend's mother suffers after her daughter's death.
You won't even wish this pain on your enemy. I also felt it.
The mirror shows that the force that's hunting everything you love isn't a spirit. It's an entity from the netherworld.
What kind of entity is it? Where did it come from? And why is it haunting Oksana's family?
Do you bear a grudge against Oksana?
As long as I live. He was drunk, but they arranged everything so the court didn't acknowledge he'd been drunk. She lied during the investigation. She said she needed to live on in the village among these people.
So she lied in the court, didn't she?
She did lie.
Did Oksana give false evidence? Did she really help the man guilty of her friend's death avoid punishment?
Wait, one of the young men who were in the truck with you is somehow connected with you.
He was my first husband.
It turned out that Oksana's first husband, Mikola, her son's father, was also in the truck when the crash happened.
I married the guy who was with us then. We married in 1992. And Volodymyr was born in 1994.
At the trial, did your husband also hide that the driver had been drunk?
Sure he did.
So it turns out that Tatiana's mother cursed both you and him. Then you married. It's a double curse. After Mikola and Oksana married, they combined the curses. As such, they were the couple of which their son's spirit told Jana. The entity, the skull-faced girl, appeared the moment the curses were joined. I must inform Jana of this.
Jana Shulakova was about to leave when she paid attention to the flowers on the table.
Your daughter loved wildflowers, didn't she?
We lived at the edge of the village. She used every opportunity to go to the field and bring a bouquet.
Now, every year, the mother buys 2 bouquets of wild flowers on her daughter's Saint's Day. She takes 1 bouquet to Tatiana's grave and the other home.
I heard Tatiana's voice. She said, "Flowers, you're going to need them. If you don't mind, can I take a few flowers?"
I don't.
I took the flowers and hurried to Rubina and Oksana. You lied to me. You said you weren't present at the trial.
I was there. They asked me if he'd been drunk, and I said no.
What did you tell her, Mom, after the court? Why did you lie?
I don't remember what I told her, I swear.
That her daughter can't be returned, but you need to live in the village, among those people.
My God.
I admit it's my fault. I shouldn't have said it. Only now I understand it. But back then, what could I understand at 17? Of course, today I would never do it. Never.
You must apologize to that woman. Only if she forgives you, we can expel the entity that emerged as a result of the double curse.
Can you look into her eyes?
At that moment, the door opened, and Valentina came out. How will the meeting of 2 women who haven't communicated for over 2 decades go?
Aunt Valentina, I'm so sorry for what happened. I'm sorry for lying in the court. Aunt Valentina...
You thought that since Tatiana was gone, you could do anything, didn't you?
It's all my fault. I'm so sorry.
The woman gives Oksana an intense, silent look in the eyes, but eventually she finds strength to forgive her.
I forgive you.
I love you so much, and I loved you a lot.
Forgiveness is an extremely powerful energy. but we still needed to cast out the entity and destroy it.
For the ritual, we needed something that was connected with Tetiana.
The flowers, they will help us get rid of the curse.
The psychics carry out the ritual of purging from the entity.
Your daughter's life isn't in danger anymore.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Only after she was through the same tragedy as her late friend's mother, Oksana realized how terrible her lies were. How often do people tell lies without thinking about the consequences? A murderous curse doomed the woman to loneliness. The ghost of a little boy will help stop a series of deaths. In this episode, thanks to their superpowers, the clairvoyants are going to challenge the supernatural forces that are trying to kill Anastasia, a young Ukrainian mother.
Let's draw a car, all right?
The place where Anastasia lives and works is unique. It's a privately owned zoo where they rehabilitate wild animals. She saves animals from all over Ukraine that, owing to different reasons, found themselves between life and death.
Good girl. Well done. What a clever girl.
The brave woman has no fear of carnivorous beasts. Only one thing scares her: the spirit of her late husband, Yuri. Anastasia claims he took the life of her fiancé, who she was going to marry after Yuri died, and he's now hunting her.
He loved me madly. He can't let me go even after his death. He used to tell me, "I'll always be by your side."
Anastasia and Yuri's relationship began in this very zoo. The couple built it almost from scratch.
We worked together. He was the manager and I was the administrator.
But 4 years ago, the doctors found a severe disease in Yuri.
Pancreonecrosis. They performed pancreatic resection, but it didn't help. When Yuri died, my life was ruined.
Only 3 years after Yuri's death, Anastasia paid attention to her new colleague.
Ole. He was an interesting, peculiar man. He became my best friend, and he showed his affection.
Eventually, the woman dared for a date with Ole. But at night, late Yuri visited her in a dream.
A long table. He's standing in front of it, and I say, "Yuri, is it really you?" Then I woke up, horrified.
But when she opened her eyes, she froze from terror. Yuri's ghost was standing in the middle of the room.
I was petrified. He died, I know it, so I screamed and scared the children.
And it only got worse over time. Anastasia says the ghost settled in her house, and he now appears day and night. Soon afterward, Ole proposed to Anastasia. She hesitated a lot whether she should accept the proposal, but her children helped her make up her mind.
Miroslava told me one day, "Mom, we're so used to Uncle Ole," and so I agreed.
The day after the engagement ceremony, a tragedy occurred. Ole unexpectedly fell from the steps of the house and hit his head badly.
The doctors did tomography. He had a hematoma. He was getting worse and worse and worse.
Eventually, Ole died. The woman is convinced that her late husband took him to the other world, and now he's hunting her.
I was admitted to the hospital. I had an appendectomy.
During the operation, the allergic reaction Anastasia suddenly began in the young woman, and Anastasia's heart stopped. She says she still remembers the feeling of her soul leaving the body while she was being resuscitated.
It was horrific. I left my body and saw myself lying there from the outside. I felt strong fear. I panicked.
The woman says that then she again saw late Yuri next to her.
I tried to move, put my limbs in motion, but I couldn't.
Luckily, the doctors succeeded and saved Anastasia. But the poor woman fears that the next time there might be no miracle, and her children will be orphans.
I can't even imagine them here their mom is gone. I want it all to be over. please. Please help me.
Ukraine's most powerful clairvoyants, Jana Shulakova and Rubina Tsibulska, agreed to help Anastasia.
Jana, while I was tuning into Anastasia's photo, I saw a woman's spirit next to her. A blonde of about 30. She was holding a dead baby in her arms.
Who is she?
I don't know, she only said, "You will only stop the death when you find blood on the flowers."
Look, a living woman and a dead woman, and the cards of love and a man.
Like a love triangle. They might be connected by love for the same man.
Who is the mysterious woman with the baby in her arms? What blood on the flowers did she mean? And is Anastasia indeed in grave danger because of the love triangle? An hour later, the clairvoyants arrived at the zoo. The house in which Anastasia and children live is next door.
Hello, thank you so much for coming.
The cards showed me that Anastasia shouldn't have left the world of the living a long time ago. It's somehow connected with a promise you gave the deceased.
Wait. Yes, I feel that you gave an oath to your late husband. You did it right before his death.
He was at the intensive care. I tried to calm him down so he could go on living. I told him, "I will always be by your side."
Anastasia still remembers holding her husband by his hand and crying. A few minutes later, Yuri closed his eyes for good.
If Anastasia swore to Yuri to be faithful to him, but then found a new man who she decided to marry again, it's quite probable her late husband's spirit could be seeking revenge on her.
Does this mean Anastasia is really doomed because of the vow of love she gave? Then why did the clairvoyants see the woman with the baby in her arms?
The only way to understand if it's Yuri who's trying to take Anastasia is to summon his spirit and ask him directly. You must close your eyes and call him.
Yuri, please come. I beg you. I need you so much.
I see Yuri. He's next to you. I see him pat your head. He's embracing you.
I saw him. He was smiling, he was kind. The man I used to know was standing next to me.
Anastasia, your husband says he misses all of you, especially your youngest son.
Most of all, Anastasia regrets that her son, Myron, doesn't remember his father. Yuri died when the boy was only 1 year old.
Yuri, I want to tell you Myron looks like you a lot. In everything. And Miroslava, too. I love you so much.
The ghost of the dead man was embracing his wife in front of me. Yuri would never hurt Anastasia, neither in life nor after death. I feel that both your husbands condemned to death by something. Yuri is asking us to save you from the evil force.
He's showing me some big fantasy animal. It's like a deer.
I feel that Yuri took care of it when he was alive.
The moose?
The animal saw its strength.
Can you show it to me?
Of course.
What did you see? What? I saw some kind of black crater. It appears suddenly, and out of this black void, an otherworldly force emerges.
Like it's chasing you.
It's hard to believe. But as soon as the clairvoyant began describing the spirit, the animals went insane in the zoo. Growling and howling started in every cage.
The animals were trying to tell us who and why is hunting Anastasia.
For a long time, The clairvoyants, without a word, approached the animals and worked with them, trying to get information. Meanwhile, it grew dark.
I see a woman's ghost over there. The woman with the dead baby in her arms, from my dream. She's calling me to follow her. Quick. She stopped next to that house.
The clairvoyant points at the house in the territory of the zoo Anastasia lives.
She's holding the dead baby, telling it, "It's my house."
Has a baby ever died in there?
No. But then the woman started weeping and mumbling something. I could only make out one phrase. Died from the curse. After that, she pointed at Anastasia.
This is terrifying. What could Rubina Cybulska's words mean? Who died from the curse? Why is the woman's ghost pointing at Anastasia? And who on earth is this woman?
She's the third in the love triangle between you, Anastasia, and another man.
Marina.
It turned out that late Yuri, before he met Anastasia, had lived with a woman named Marina. The couple even had a daughter. They lived in the house in which Anastasia lives now.
I feel that before meeting you, Yuri broke up with Marina. But she didn't lose the hope he would come back until the very last moment.
It's true, yes. I had a conflict with her. It happened here at the zoo. She blamed me for taking Yuri away from her.
How did she die?
I see some mechanics, an overturned chariot.
She fell from a motorcycle. She hit her head hard and immediately fell into a coma.
Marina's friend was giving her a lift. The man lost control and crashed into a tree. An ambulance took the woman from the site.
The doctor from the emergency care told us she was on the 3rd stage of coma. Nobody said nothing. No predictions or hopes.
Marina died, never regaining consciousness.
I realized Marina's spirit had a reason to appear while she was alive. You took away the man that she loved from her, so she could be trying to take revenge on you after death.
And it could be.
I suddenly heard Marina's voice. She said I couldn't take him. He died while I was still in the world of the living. Did Marina die after Yuri?
Yes. He died first, and she died afterward.
She's not the killer. She's got nothing to do with the deaths of the men you loved. It's quite the opposite. Marina's defending you. I was shocked. The woman who hated Anastasia while she was alive is now protecting her. But why? She says, "Thank you for fighting for my life."
Were you around while she was dying?
Yes. We took her to a better hospital. I did everything. I didn't want to let her go.
Anastasia says she forgot all of their old conflicts and stayed with Marina until the end. It's hard to believe, but the new love of her ex-husband became Marina's only support.
Marina says she's protecting you from the other world because you're taking care of her daughter.
I'm raising her daughter.
Marina had no relatives, so Anastasia arranged the funeral. After it, she immediately adopted the other Marina's daughter. Anastasia says that legally she had no rights to the girl, but she did everything, so little Miroslava could stay with her.
After Marina died, I asked her a question. "Miroslava, who do you want to live with?" And she said, "With you." I've always had the feeling she's my daughter.
It's hard for Marina's spirit to stay in our world. She must go. But before she does it, she wants to embrace you.
Like this, tightly. Thank you, Marina.
When I embraced Anastasia, I had a vision. Anastasia and an adult. Dark-haired woman next to her. She was shouting something in the language I couldn't understand. And all of it was happening in a small house. Can I work in your house?
The cards show me that you received a death letter.
It's connected with a dead little boy.
Yes, he was my first son, Ilya. He would have been 18 by now.
Anastasia gave birth to her first son when she was only 19, but the baby boy only lived for half a year. The doctors diagnosed him with meningitis, an inflammation of the brain, and the boy died.
The doctor on duty came out and said, "Denon, I'm sorry, but your son is dead." My whole world collapsed. He was so little and so cute.
The boy wasn't Yuri's son. Who was your son's father?
Yes, he was my first love, and his name was Gamzat, and he was Dagestani. I met him as a first-year student. It was love at first sight.
But they couldn't be together. Anastasia was unwelcome in the strict Dagestani family.
I see a woman yelling curses, and she doesn't want the baby. Neither from you nor from your relation.
Gamzat's mother disapproved of our relationship because he was a Muslim, while I'm a Christina. She told Gamzat directly that he was supposed to marry a woman of their faith.
When did Gamzat introduce you to his mother?
When I was 7 months pregnant. I told her I loved him and he loved me. She cursed us. Me and my unborn baby.
A mother's curse is a powerful thing, and it's hard to get rid of it. While the consequences can be unexpected. But nobody had a clue of how the curse exactly worked.
Anastasia says that she and Gamzat decided to marry anyway, which they eventually did.
The cards show me that the boy got sick after all those curses.
Yes?
The baby was the glue that held you together. The baby gets ill and dies, and people break up.
Had Ilya survived, we would have never broken up.
After they buried their son, Anastasia couldn't stay with her husband. The awful pain of the loss became stronger than the love. Anastasia says that she simply couldn't look at her husband, who had the same eyes as their dead sons.
Whenever I looked at him, I saw my son and cried. I realized I couldn't speak to that man anymore.
The curse was probably the reason both your son and your husband died. And now, it's threatening your life. I need to see your son's grave. I need to work there.
Hello, son. Hello, my dear baby. This is your mom.
I decided to summon the boy's spirit to ask him about the curse. Your mom has come to visit you, dear. Anastasia, you still remember every moment spent with your son?
He babbled so cutely. I wanted to hear his laughter, tears, and joy. But I only saw the pain. His death was terrible, and I couldn't do anything. I cried every night. I wept and howled as a wolf howls at the moon. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Anastasia, your son says it's not your fault. He heard your every word.
I always wanted to talk to him like this, and you gave me the chance to do it finally.
Then the spirit pointed at Anastasia's arm.
Let me see. Do you see the picture?
This is a sakura.
These blossoms, there was blood on them. I see the blood flowing down the blossoms.
I cut them.
Oh dear God. Anastasia, why did you do it?
I was thinking about Ilya and decided I'd be with him.
You promised your dead son you'd see him soon, right?
Yes.
It's connected with a promise you gave to a dead person.
Anastasia says she remembers almost nothing about the incident. When she regained consciousness, she was at the hospital, and later, she was told her neighbor had saved her when she dropped by and saw Anastasia in the puddle of blood.
The blood was flowing. But not much time had passed. When you have nobody to support you and you try to deal with your problems all alone, it's hard. It's incredibly hard. You must share it with somebody and ask them for help. If you ask for help, you will have it.
The curse was intended to bring loneliness and death. This is why Anastasia's both husbands died, and the boy got sick because at the moment the curse was applied, he was in his mother's womb.
The clairvoyants carry out the ritual to lift the curse of Anastasia's first husband's mother. It was the reason the woman was doomed to stay alone and eventually die. The psychics are confident Anastasia is alive because she's done many good things to other people. And this is what's holding her in our world, as well as the children, for whom she's assumed the whole responsibility.
Don't worry about your son, he's in the heaven together with Marina, Yuri's first wife. She takes care of your son, just as you take care of her daughter.
Thank you. Dear God, thank you for this. I even see her take him in her arms, and he tenderly hugs her like I hug Miroslava. Thank you so much for helping me.
It's amazing how a mother's curse can cause terrible things. Parents always wish good for their children. They should never forget, however, that the best future for their children is the one they decide for themselves. This is absolutely incredible. A woman captured a poltergeist ravaging her home on camera.
Look, here. Here, look, not bad, isn't it? I'm absolutely shocked. The chair's turning.
The owner of the apartment sent the video to psychics immediately so they could find out what kind of force it is, and the answer is going to shock you. In this episode, the psychics are going to deal with an aggressive poltergeist that's attacking a young mother and her 2 children.
It all began with the rapping on the door. I answered it, but there was nobody there.
Yana lives in a 3-bedroom apartment with her 2 sons. Her younger son, Ilya, was the first to feel the poltergeist's presence at home.
He woke up shouting out, "There's a man over there." I told him, "It was an illusion, dear."
But at that moment, the remote control car turned on and began riding itself.
The first thing I did was to check the remote. It was on the wardrobe.
Then the woman's elder son, Artur, also felt the presence of the evil spirit.
He went to the kitchen to drink water and saw a man's silhouette in the bar mirror. He was reflected in full size, from his head to his feet.
All of a sudden, the mirror in the cabinet cracked in front of the boy's eyes. After that, Yana also saw the poltergeist.
I woke up to the feeling that there was somebody standing near me. I opened my eyes and saw a man's face.
Yana got out of bed and went to the cabinet to find a church candle to say a prayer. But all of a sudden, something tore the cabinet's upper door away and threw it straight at her.
The door fell and hit me on the nose. It started to bleed, and it was very bad.
After that event, the woman had a camera installed in her apartment to record the evidence that the invisible attacker really existed.
I was afraid to tell anybody because they would think I was insane. This is terrifying.
Yana has lived in this apartment since she was a child, but recently she stopped feeling safe in her own home. Therefore, she's asking the psychics to help her deal with the evil spirit.
I really need help so I can have peace of mind and know my children are safe, so I can live peacefully in my own apartment.
Ukraine's most powerful psychics, Olena Kurilova and Hayal Olena, agreed to help the woman. Before setting off to see Yana, the psychics decide to work with her video clip.
This is a dead man.
He's searching for something. There's some kind of mystery related to his death.
I had a vision. This woman, Yana, is in the room, and next to her, I see a severed male head.
Is this the same man?
I don't know yet.
Is it possible that this Yana killed somebody?
Do we have her photo?
I see a vivid picture. 3 women sit facing one another. They put on kerchiefs on their heads and pass a little wooden thing to one another. It looks like some figurine or something, and it's all wrapped up in or entwined with something.
Seems like some kind of ritual, but what does it have to do with Yana?
Some ropes, threads, and knots. And she's one of the 3. She's one of the 3 women.
2 hours later, the psychics arrive in the town where Yana lives and are at her apartment building.
Hello. Thank you so much for coming. I'm really, really grateful. Help me, please. There's somebody living in my apartment.
This is a man's spirit, and this dead man is somehow bound to you.
Who is this?
Can we enter your apartment to summon this man's spirit?
Of course you can, of course.
But before everyone had even entered the building, Hayal and Olena shocked everyone with what he felt.
There's the spirit of a man here. Beware. He's aggressive.
Flower pots fell from the windowsill. What is going on here? Does the psychic see the spirit that's haunting Yana and her children? But who is this man?
Quiet, quiet. Hayal? Where's his head?
He says, at my home. Where's your home?
God, help and protect me. This is my home.
I'd seen the head of this man, whose spirit appeared in the building when we entered, in the vision I had before the investigation. Was he murdered in Yana's apartment? Could she have been involved in it somehow? My jinns are showing me a ring, but I don't understand what connection it can have with the beheaded man. Olena, what's the matter?
Sit down, sit down. Are you unwell?
My legs gave way. I had a sudden vision. A beheaded man lying in the middle of the room.
Olena, sit down. I see this room, but it has no ceiling and I can see the sky. I see a crane. The building is being constructed. A man wearing a builder's helmet squats at the wall, doing something.
What else do you see?
Something falls off the crane. It's something heavy, like a concrete slab. It lands on his neck, cutting his head off.
Yes, it happened when this building was being constructed. There was an accident at the construction site. A man's head was torn off. Yes, it did happen here.
Suddenly, Hayal and Olena left the room and began working at the front door. What has the psychic felt?
I don't see the spirit in your apartment. He can't cross the threshold. Did you invite a priest when you moved in here?
Mom said she invited a priest, and he blessed the apartment.
Yana is from an Armenian family that lived in Azerbaijan for many generations. 30 years ago, they had to leave the country after war broke out there.
We left the country because there was the war, and people died there.
Yana's parents were given the apartment in which she lives now as refugees. Later, the neighbors told them that the apartment had been empty for a long time as people feared to live in it. This is the reason why Yana's parents arranged for the priest to perform a blessing on their new residence.
The beheaded man's spirit had frightened everyone who moved into the apartment, to which he's bound. But after Yana's parents had it blessed, he couldn't enter it and had to stay on the stairwell. He needs to be released. I'll do the ritual on the stairwell.
Then whose spirit is ravaging the apartment? And why can't the blessing protect the place from it?
The spirit of the man that's harming Yana appeared here not so long ago, and it's bound to her herself, not to the apartment.
I decided to check Yana's life with my cards to see if I could find the answer in her past. The card of death. The lovers. The cards told me of some kind of romantic unfaithfulness related to death. But back then, I didn't understand what it meant. The card of the woman. She's holding something in her hands. You took something with your hands. Wait. Did you find some strange items?
I did. 3 candles made of 3 interwoven thin candles, each in a cross burned on a sheet of paper.
I hear a quarrel between you and a woman. Yana, this is somebody from your family.
Could it be somebody from my family?
The woman is related to you. She has some property claims. It might be connected with this apartment.
It could only be my sister.
The big family of Yana's grandmother, her parents, and 3 children used to live in this apartment. Yana's grandmother and father died. Her brother and mother went to live in the U.S. several years ago. Her sister, Ilona, married and went to live with her husband in his 1-bedroom apartment. And, according to Yana, her sister is not happy. She inherited their parents' apartment.
Could Yana's sister use magic against her?
Yana phoned her sister, Ilona, who lives in the same town. She agreed to speak to the psychics, regardless of the fact that she and Yana barely communicate.
Hello.
Hello. My name's Ilona.
Hello.
You had a kind of conflict because of the property.
Yes, we did quarrel quite a lot.
We were like enemies.
The sisters couldn't come to terms with each other. Ilona and her husband and 2 children have to share a 1-bedroom apartment, and she has the right to a part of their parents' apartment. But it's easy to understand Yana. She doesn't wish to sell the apartment in which she's lived since her childhood. The women argued because of it so much that they couldn't even see each other.
I haven't spoken to her at all for almost a year.
But could Ilona be involved into the events that are happening to her sister?
We found the items made purposefully to cause death at her home.
Do you think I did it? Go and check it.
Did these hands do this? No.
I was a little bit shocked that my sister could even think I could do something like this to her.
This woman doesn't wish you death.
It's a load off my shoulders.
You shouldn't be enemies with each other. You're sisters, and you must support each other.
Of course. She's my sister. My God, how could you think it was me?
It seems like the women have been looking for a chance to forget all their quarrels and finally reconcile.
I will never harm her in my life. Never.
I am sorry if I did something that hurt you.
It would be a lot easier to find out who did that if we could at least see those things.
What did you do to them?
Nothing. I kept them. They're at my home.
Look, how could you do something like this?
Hurry! We need to get to your apartment. The magic is directed at your children's deaths.
Help me. My children are everything I have in my life.
Tell me, please. Have you buried your child?
Yes. I was pregnant with twins. Then I had a miscarriage and lost one baby. Ilya survived.
Those items took away the other baby. Where did you find them?
In my bag in the bedroom.
For how long had the bag been there, unused?
For about 3 years.
The woman recalls that the last time she used that bag was before her younger son was born.
Yana, my sacred book says it was done by a woman who couldn't have children. She shifted her fate to you.
And then I realized where the package of the candles came from. I already had a case like that in my life. About 10 years ago, my friend came to me and said, Olena, look, I was riding the subway with this bag. And when I came back home and opened it, I found the kerchief in it. And in the kerchief, 3 candles and the same cross, but made of wax, were wrapped.
Do you mean her bag was open and someone planted that thing on her while she was using the subway?
When a woman can't have a baby, she goes to a black hag. The black hag tells her to find a young and beautiful woman and plant the thing into her bag. It was planted on you.
But it has nothing to do with the man that's been haunting your home.
Anyway, we need to get rid of it. And I've sealed it with the wax from my blessed candle.
But who is that entity that's haunting Yana's apartment? Whose spirit is this, and why is it threatening the woman and her children?
Who are you, and why did you die?
It's a clue. What is this?
This thing is deadly.
It's a ritual thing. It's charmed.
What does this mean? Did the woman carry out some kind of magic ritual?
I hear some strange words. Wait, this is my language. It's a widow's curse.
It's unbelievable. But who cursed whom? And where does the thing come from? And what is it?
It's a spindle, it's my grandma's.
It turned out that Yana's grandmother brought the spindle from Azerbaijan.
She always carried it with herself.
Always. She always took it whenever she moved to another town or country. I never saw her use the thing.
When her granddaughter asked her, the old woman said it was a gift, and it had value for her as a memory. After Yana's grandma died, first her mother and then Yana herself kept the thing as an antique. But the woman would never think it could be loaded with a curse.
Tell me, was your grandmother a widow?
Yes.
Was your mother a widow?
Yes.
Are you a widow?
Yes.
It's hard to believe, but this woman is a widow? How is it possible? She's so young. As it turned out, 4 years ago, Yana lost her husband.
I see a road. Did your husband die on the road?
Yes. He crashed on a highway.
Tell me, what was his name?
His name was Algis.
Yana's husband was Lithuanian. He had a business in Ukraine. They met at a party thrown by their mutual friends. The woman says it was love at first sight. But the happiness didn't last long. 5 years after the wedding, Algis died in a car wreck. He lost control of his car. His death was a terrible shock for Yana.
He was a very fair kind of person. Very kind. He was very fair. He loved me a lot. It was a great love.
The first son isn't his, is he? He took you with your eldest son, saying it's his boy, didn't he?
Yes, he wanted to adopt him.
The father of Yana's eldest son was the first love of her youth. But their relationship went sour. For a long time, she was alone until she met the man who made her happy.
Olena, please remember the vision you had before the investigation.
The 3 women passing something among them.
The 3 women are Yana and her grandmother and mother, all of whom became widows. The spindle is cursed. Whoever held it in her hands lost her husband. A woman gave this spindle to your grandmother on the day of her wedding. She had imposed a spell on it. She hated your grandmother because she was jealous of a man's affection for her.
It was Grandma's sister. They had a conflict because of a man. I remember clearly that it was because of the man.
The cursed spindle killed 3 men from Yana's family. Her grandfather, her father, and her husband.
Olena, do you remember when we were watching the video before the investigation from this room, you said the man's spirit was searching for something? My jinns are showing me a wedding ring. This is your husband's spirit that's haunting you.
He loved me so much. Why is he angry? Is it because of the ring?
Let's summon him. Okay, close your eyes. With my words, with my requests, with my candles, with my prayers. Hold on, dear, I'm reciting. The candle, give me the candle.
It went out. The candle died out.
Hayal, give me the candle. Light it. Go away. Leave this place and never come back.
I'm praying to God. Please leave.
Your husband's spirit is here. He's not going to go away. He says, "You cheated on me."
Me? Cheated?
He's infuriated. Look at the chandelier. He says, "You were unfaithful. Ilya is not my son, and you're lying to everyone. You tell them he's my son."
Does this mean the woman who 5 minutes ago told everyone of the heavenly love had been cheating on her husband?
Were you pregnant from somebody else when you were married to him?
I know I did a wrong thing, and I don't reject it.
This is your wedding photo. It's not an accident that it fell off the wall. His spirit tumbled it. He's giving you the sign that he doesn't wish to be your husband.
A romantic affair related to death. She was unfaithful to her husband, and he only learned of it after his death.
Jana's husband was often out of town. His business demanded frequent trips. Jana often stayed alone, and she missed him a lot. She says she only had one date with the other man, and it happened at the moment of weakness. Only after she made the mistake did Jana realize how much she loved her husband. She soon knew she was pregnant. She was going to tell Algis, but was late. He died.
Jana, did you record your husband as the boy's father?
Yes, I was married after all.
He hates you because of this unfaithfulness and wishes to take the wedding ring he gave you, but he can't find it anywhere.
I did have the wedding ring from him, but I don't have it anymore. I had to sell it.
You were so used to your husband's infinite love that you didn't even think how hurt he would be.
This is my sin, I know. I'm not going to deny it. Of course it was a betrayal. What do I do?
You must ask him for forgiveness. We are going to recite prayers, and you will tell him what you have on your heart.
Algis, please forgive me for my mistakes and my unfaithfulness. Please go and leave me and the children alone. I'm begging you. Please let me go. Please. Please. Forgive me.
He heard your sincere tears.
To make sure he doesn't return, you must buy a new ring and take it to your husband's grave.
I promise you, I'll do it.
And you must also return the cursed spindle to your grandmother so it won't harm anybody else. Take it to her grave.
I will do it. Thank you so much.
I'm going to pray for you and your children.
This woman lived in lies for so long, and because of it, she almost lost her and her children's lives. However, it appears that she has learned a crucial lesson. You can never hide the truth.